I don't even know what's going on right now. It's a green screen. Me being a bugaboo. Yeah, man. So this weekend was all right. It was a little busy, a little hectic. Um, what did we do? One of my coworkers had a promotion ceremony. Um, his family was beautiful. He had like three little girls dressed the same, and his little son was out there. His wife was out there, of course. That was fun. Then took my 14-year-old, took him out to try on suits. Now, I forgot they. So when you go into the store with like Pakistanis, and this is racist. This is see, that was racist. I almost got caught. I almost got caught. But when you go in the store, into this particular store, I notice that when you come to them and you tell them like, "Hey, um, I'm looking for this price range," when you don't mention price, they take you to the most expensive section. If you don't tell them you got a budget, they just automatically assume that you got money. And so, yeah, I cut my hair off. Um, they just automatically assume that you got money. And so, this was the suit that my 14-year-old got. This dude, he was like, one day he was like 5'5", and the next day he was like 5'8", like almost taller than me. And so I was like, all right, well, we can't get away with last year's thing that we did for Easter, so we're gonna switch it up. We're gonna get you a new suit. This man is shopping in the men's section now. I think his suit ended up being like a 38 or 36 or something like that, and I wear like a 42. So he just a little. He's not as wide as I am, but he's tall. Yeah, he's almost as tall as I am. But that was him, and then he was just trying on suits. He has no real concern about fashion, about any he doesn't care about fashion. He's a very emo child. This being autism awareness, he's autistic. He's on the spectrum. But he's into art. He's into, believe it or not, he's into MAGA. Uh, oh, I'm sorry. Go edits. Uh, my bad. It's not the text ain't showing up, y'all. Rug loaded. We just yapping, like you said. We just yapping. Can you shout me out saying my name, please? XD Sam, shout out. What's good, LeBron James? Sorry about that. Hell, y'all, hell. It looked like LeBron James was struggling a little bit um, in the first quarter or whatever. I didn't see the game, but I just watched highlights. I don't even watch the game no more for real. I'd be too busy. Um, but yeah, I just got out the Walmart. Um, this is not the Walmart, obviously. This picture, I don't know if y'all can see this green screen or whatever. But let me. So this was the suit that he ended up going with. He went like with his tan Barack Obama suit. We cut his hair, so his hair looks a little bit better than that now. Um, but this is the first suit he put on. He told the guy. He said, "I want a salmon pink suit." I don't know where he got salmon pink from, but he said, "I want this salmon pink suit." And I told my wife, I didn't react. I didn't respond to him. I just kind of like, that's what you want? If that's what you like, I'm all about it. I mean, that's what he was looking at. And I said, now he's a keyboard player. I said, you look like a keyboard player with this suit jacket You look like a keyboard player. That fits. Um, but I really internally I thought he looked like Jim Carrey off of Dumb and Dumber. And y'all can Google that real quick. Him and the other guy, they had Jim Carrey had like a pastel blue suit, and the other guy had like a pastel orange suit. And so I was like, yeah, son, don't go ahead. I'm gonna support you. I'm not gonna laugh at you because their generation is different than our generation. Who knows? He might have started crying in the store. So I was just like, all right, cool. Um, but that was him getting fitted. He got a little 3-piece suit. Um, they asked me, did I want them to alter the the suit, and I said no. I was gonna alter it. I don't even know why he asked me. Was they gonna? Did I want him to alter it? Thank you for the thumbs up. Because I came in the store on Friday, so like the suit is for Easter. So unless you're telling me you're gonna measure this man and have it ready tomorrow, of course I don't want you to alter it. Because I do alterations like I could do the minor alterations myself at the house. Although I didn't, because my son seems to think that he's gonna have another growth spurt, and he said, Dad, you're gonna ruin my pants. So just don't even worry about it, Dad. Just he's gonna yeah. You see how long the pants are? They're a little bit long. Um, he said just leave it like that. That's not really my style. The way I was raised, that wouldn't work. Like my pops, if he saw him go in church with a baggy suit like that, my pops he would talk to me. I would get talked to. So I don't know how I'm going to do Easter pictures tomorrow. He's probably just going to be sitting down when we're doing Easter pictures, because yeah. Then my older son, I got a picture of him like this is how loudmouth he is now. He's like talking, but this was his suit jacket that he was getting ready to go with. Then he put that suit on. He was like, okay, let me try another one. He put a charcoal gray suit on. I said, son, charcoal gray is not really a color. Yes, Mason, we can be friends. Everybody's friends here. He put a charcoal gray suit on. And I was like, son, that's not really an Easter color. But then the guy that worked at the store, he was like, hey, hold on. This is what we can do. Charcoal gray is not typically Easter, but you can do a lavender shirt, you can do a pink shirt, you can do a bright colored shirt and a nice tie, and it's Easter. And then you can also wear it any other time of the year. And I said, you know what? You're right. You're right. I think I got a picture. Let me see if I got a picture of it. Okay. This is the suit jacket that he went with, and you can see like the cut on the suit jacket was really fly. Like it's a slim fit. You know how the youngsters wear their suits now? We used to wear our suits like a little big, like our pants would be a little baggy. They wear theirs like short. Like the shoes, you can see the top of the shoe with the pants. It's weird. It's almost like leggings tight, but that's what they do. And let me see. These were the shoes that my 14-year-old ended up going with. They're like, I don't know what kind of shoes these are, but he liked them. They're like wingtip shoes. I don't know. But he seemed to like them. And that's really what we did for Easter, like Easter preparation. We just went through, I said, can we be friends? Mason, yes, man. Yes, relax. I didn't even get an Easter suit. I spent so much money on these cats. I got 6 kids. Anybody that has been here before, you know, I have a lot of kids. Anybody that hasn't been here, welcome. And just stick around. I'll be here probably until I get home, which is like 10 minutes away. But yeah, I wanted to come back on because I had this like 40-minute autism awareness special, and I was, oh my gosh, this dude is high or something. Um, I'm leaving Walmart, and this is the sketchy part of town, the black part of town. Walmart, so whatever. I'm black, so doesn't bother me. But anyway, I was going somewhere and I forgot. Hi, Slade. 23 or 2033 or 2333. But yeah, so I was going somewhere and I just got lost and distracted. So I'll just start over on another tangent. Yeah, I almost got fired from my job. I almost got fired from my job. I'm in the military, and I'm not sure how you almost get fired, but I almost got fired. And I'm not a commander. I had I graded the students really. I don't think I graded them too hard, but they felt like I graded them too hard. And so after that, they came back and they complained about their grades. And so the ones that complained, this is what I did, because I'm deep down, I think maybe I do have a little bit of people pleasing to me. I went back and I redid their feedback, and I gave them more feedback, and I spelled out hey, this is why I took off points. I'm the Snowy VR guy. All right, cool. I took off points because X, Y, and Z. And some of the people were misspelling words. We live in information age. You should never have a misspelling. I can see if we're texting and we're doing the paper real time, but if you have a chance to proofread your work, you shouldn't have misspelling. You shouldn't have grammatical errors, not with AI being what it is today. Especially when I told them, I was like, thanks for the thumbs up. I told them, I was like, guys, just run your paper through AI. Let AI fix it. I typically give all points for formatting, but if they don't, if the rubric says something and you don't meet what the rubric says, I'm not gonna give you points. So anyway, them people, they ended up mutinying, because I changed some of the people's grade, and some of the people, they did pretty good. So I felt like y'all didn't come to me and complain. So I basically changed the people that complained. The squeaky wheel got the oil. So they didn't like that, and I pretty much lost them after that. And so what I said, you know what? This new secretary, that was under the old Secretary of Defense. I forgot the man's name already. But the new Secretary of Defense was like, hey, if it's not contributing to you being a better warfighter, stop doing it. And that resonated with me. I was like, you know what? If they talking about we about to go to war, if it's about to pop off with China, Russia, whoever, Iran, North Korea, whoever, let me stop acting like this is a college class and stop tripping off of this paper. This paper really doesn't matter. As long as you wrote your name, spelled your name right, let's go ahead and give y'all the points. So this next class, I didn't trip on the paper. And I just I gave basically everybody got A's. If you did the paper, you got an A. Even if you didn't do as well, even if you had spelling errors and stuff, I was like, if I could still understand what you meant, you just used the wrong word, okay, I understand where you were going. You used the wrong word, whatever. We'll keep it moving. So everybody got A's. And this class, they really had nothing but good things to say about me in terms of feedback. And I told them, hey guys, this is the first thing I said to them. I said, guys, the most important position in this class is going to be that of the scheduler. So let me back up. At Squadron Officer School, the people that haven't been here, you probably have no idea what I'm talking about. I teach at squadron officer school in the Air Force. I got my little PT shirt on because I'm so Air Force. But I teach at squadron officer school, and that's the school for captains. And I've been doing that now since last June. It's been my best job in the Air Force for I've been in the Air Force for almost 17 years, and it is my best job, not even close. But I started out talking about how I almost got fired. The way I almost got fired is because in the military, you're supposed to have feedback. You have initial feedback, and then you have midterm feedback, which is supposed to happen halfway before you get to your performance review period. And so my performance review didn't happen. Like, I never had an initial feedback, and it wasn't because I didn't request one, because I did, and but I was just like not getting any answers from my boss. I think he was going through a lot, and he just wasn't really expressing, and he wasn't really doing a good job of like the care and feeding of the people. And so I said, he don't care, I don't care. I'm just gonna kind of keep doing what I do. And anyway, he decided he was finally gonna have a feedback session with me. And he used 2 of the students' feedbacks. Now, I had taught in 3 classes, and I can't remember if it was the second or the first class, but the second class had nothing but good feedback. And I noticed when we had our midterm feedback, so we never had an initial feedback. He never said, hey, this is what my expectations are. We never had that discussion. But the feedback was the midterm feedback was like a warning. And it was basically counseling, saying, hey, you not meeting the expectation. And also, you missed the meeting that you had. And so we're going to put you on this little performance review thing. So the thing that maybe they didn't know about me is I've been a boss. I've been a leader of civilians plenty of times. And I know when you're getting ready to fire a civilian, the first thing you do is you put them on a performance improvement plan. And so the feedback session was like a verbal warning. And then I think I had missed a meeting because I was actually doing my real job. And they didn't like it because the guy, he's like, hey, you didn't come to the meeting. He didn't make a big deal out of it, but let me back up a little bit. There was the guy that was coming in to take over from the guy that was on. There was 2 guys. There was one lieutenant colonel. He was the previous operations officer. And then there was another lieutenant colonel that was the future operations officer. And so the old guy, he didn't really care. I could tell he didn't really care. And he was this person that kind of I could tell he's got ADHD as well. And so he when he see my ADD, he would just it's cool, I get it. You got a lot going on, don't trip. But the new guy, because I'm a very non-confrontational, very laid back, I'm not gonna get spun up over anything. The new guy took it as I had some type of attitude or something. And so he was mad. And he kept saying things like, you're not acting like the level that you're supposed to be at. So I'm a major. He's like, you ain't acting like a major. And I was like, why is the new guy talking? I thought I was dealing with you, but whatever. So it got a little tense between the new guy and me for a little bit. And then I finally had a situation this month where one of my boys, the 14-year-old that I showed you guys earlier, he had a meltdown, and I took him to the hospital. His meltdown was that bad, and And so I called them the next day, like, hey guys, I'm just getting home from the emergency room. It's 6 a.m. in the morning. I ain't coming into work. I'm gonna go ahead and put in some leave. And they was like, what happened? So I told my boss what happened. You know, I had to take my son to the hospital because he was wilding. And my boss was like, oh. So they like that gave me like a little bit of they had a little bit of sympathy for that. Um and so they backed up a little bit. But then they backed up a little bit because they had me like doing weekly scheduling meetings, and I already know they're gonna keep these weekly scheduling meetings going because part of ADHD, you be forgetting stuff. I forget stuff. And as I've gotten older and as things have gotten like, I can see my mind has definitely um, had some sort of decline, and so they were just like, I don't think it's working out. And I forgot some stuff. I legit forgot some stuff, and so they was getting ready to fire me. But after I told them, I was like, I sat down with my boss because I knew I was about to get fired. I was like, all right, look, let me just tell you, this was happening. So I shared like my health information with the guy, and typically like you wouldn't do that on if you're a civilian. You don't have to share your health information. It's PII or no HIPAA. It's a privacy act. I don't have to talk about that. In the military, you got privacy, but kinda. Like your boss, your commander can know. And so I told him all of the information that was going on, and he was like, "Oh, okay." So he started putting the puzzle and the pieces of my life together. He's like, "Okay, so this dude, he got ADD. I don't know why I didn't know that, but I can see it. It makes sense to me now. And then he got a lot going on with his family, and so he started like he actually became an empathetic person. Because beforehand, I think they just felt like I just didn't care about my job, and I just didn't care. Um, but after a while, they got a chance to like. I just told them like this was my life, man. Is my life. What even is my life right now? This is my life. I got, you know, a bunch of autistic kids. Um, I'm losing my mind. I'm getting older. And so they were like, all right, well, what can we do to help you? Help us help you. And I was like, well, nothing. What I'm gonna do is I'm just gonna talk to my doctor. We're gonna see, we're gonna fine tune, we're gonna retweak stuff, we're gonna see how we can get better. And so my boss was like, all right, well, let me know. Let me know. And so I was supposed to have a doctor's appointment at the end of this month. But I don't know. I ain't had it yet. I'm still on it's still at the end of the month, but I think they were thinking like, no, you need to have a doctor's appointment like now. It's an emergency. Do it now. But me, I was just like, we'll get to it. I got a lot going on. Like I've been living inside of my head for 40 plus years. I just showed you a little piece of what's going on in my mind. Don't trip. I got it. We're good. I might forget stuff, but blame it on my head, not my heart. And then this last class that I had, the students, they just like, I got my feedback from them and it was like nothing but good stuff. And so the new guy, he sends me an email and he was just like, good job. Good job. That was all I got. I was like, bro, you the same dude that was telling me how I was a dirtbag, how I wasn't operating on the level, and all of this other stuff, and all I got was a good job. Like, nah, bro, I need you to celebrate. I need you to pour out like a champagne glass. I ain't gonna drink it, but I need you to shake that joint up and pop it over my head and celebrate me like the way you tore me down or tried to tear me down anyway. But um I don't know. It's all good. I just chalk it up to differences, cultural differences. A lot of times people they look at you and you don't when you don't respond the way that they think you or how do I want to say this? A lot of times people when you don't respond the way that they think they will respond in the situation, they sometimes can use that and penalize you because you don't operate the way that they think they would operate. If that makes sense. It probably didn't. But I don't know. I try to be an empathetic person. Having like children that are on the spectrum has given me a lot of empathy. It's helped me to try to see things through other people's eyes. And I think it's actually made me a better person and a better leader. But um, I don't know. People that don't like touchy feely leaders, um, and when I say touch feely, I ain't talking about touching people. I mean, but they don't like people that lead with emotion and actually care. Because some people just want to come to work. They don't want to talk about what they got going on in their life. They just want to do their job and they want to leave. But me, I'm one of the people like, I want to know what you got going on. And like, if you want to know, I'll tell you what I got going on. And, I like to share. I'm like, guys, we're literally spending more time together than we are with our own families. So we might as well get to know each other for these next 5 or 6 weeks. And you might like me. I might like you. If I see you in the future, I can help you out. If you see me in the future, we can help each other out. Um, one of my most rewarding interactions that I had from this last class, I had one one black male officer in my flight, and we were doing our final feedback, and he asked me, he was like we had finished pretty much everything. He was like, I gotta ask you something. He was like, how are you dealing with um how are you dealing with this climate that we in? And I already know what he's talking about. It's the how are you processing the Trump era of like the MAGA era? How you dealing with that? Like as a black officer when everything is like anti DEI. And they say anti DEI, but it feels like it's anti minority. When everything is like if you not white, it ain't right. That's what it feels like. He's like, so how are you processing that? I said, honestly, dude, you guys are how I you guys are the reason why I love what I'm doing. Because the opportunity to interact, like me, I already kind of see where my future, my cap is. Um, like I'm probably not gonna promote to the next rank. I'm okay with that as long as I can still have impact um doing what I'm doing. As long as I get the chance to impact you, like if I can boost you up and help you go higher, to me, I felt like it was not in vain. And I said, so for me, um, I focus on the things that I can control. I cannot control anything that's going on above me. My boss, how they interact, how they treat me, can't control it. I can set boundaries on what I'm gonna accept, but I can't get them to stop or change. Um, whatever the president is saying, I can't get him to change his policies. I can't do that. So I look to my left and I look to my right, and those are the people that matter the most to me. And then I say, I don't forget about my why. My why is my 6 kids and my wife. That's my why. And so that's how I make it. And that's how, like, I don't want to shortchange the people next to me. And that's how I'm making it. And he was like, he had this, it was like, he had this look like somebody had popped the light switch, like, and the light bulb just like, bing. He's like, that's how I'm gonna make it. I'm gonna keep that in mind. And like those interactions, those types of things. Um, so what I didn't know is he had a sister-in-law that was in another unit. She was an instructor there, and I, people be at my job. I'm literally the only black instructor there. And so literally everybody knows me. And people be knowing me, they be like, hey, Action. And I'm like, I feel like I've never seen you in my life. Why do you know my name? I feel like people be having conversations about me and I just don't know it. Cause people be knowing me. And I'm telling you, they see me in public and be like, hey, what's up, Action? I'm like, hey, okay, yeah. I literally don't know them, but they know me. And she was like, um, so you had my brother-in-law in your class. I was like, oh yeah, who? Which one? And she told me his name. And she was like, he really spoke highly of you. He said the information, like you guys had it in your feedback, he said you gave him feedback that he's never received before in his entire Air Force career. I said, that right there is literally what keeps me going. Because like when you on a job, like and your coworkers, like it's not my coworkers not bad, but it's just like they don't right now the climate is if you don't fit in, you fitting out. And if you fitting out, we don't really want to deal with it. What's up, Nathan? I got Nathan Saganerio. It says, hi, it's been a while. Yeah, man. Yeah, it has. It has. Life been lifing, man. Thank you for stopping by. I appreciate it. Um, yeah, man, life been lifing. Still got 6 kids. Still got a wife. Um, and the job is still jobbing. So yeah, I do not be on here. And like usually I have 6 weeks on teaching, and then I have a post week, and then I have a pre-week. And during post week, oh snap, you got sent to Russia. Whoa, whoa. Nathan says, I got sent to Russia. I got deployed. Oh man. That's okay. All right. Remind me where did you deploy from? If you could say that. And if you can't, I understand. It's all good. Well, man, thoughts and prayers. Um, that situation is really shaky. That situation is starting to feel like the prelude to World War III. Jamaica. Yeah, that situation is legitimately starting to feel like the prelude to World War III. Almost like maybe we are in World War III already, and people just not really calling it that yet. My car just literally just turned off. Um, but yeah, oh, America. Um, yeah, I thought you said Jamaica. I'm like, oh, okay, all right. That's cool. But yeah, man, like, those like interactions with the people, like, I've never had a job where the interactions with coworkers and leadership is like so opposite. Man, that was like a vignette. That lighting, how that went dark around me. That was cool. I never had a place where I um disliked the leadership and the coworkers, but loved the people that I work with, like the people that I'm actually my customer. I've never. It's like it. Like when you work with others, and others is somebody that's different than you. Don't don't make people feel like they're others. It don't say now. See, I'm gonna talk out of both sides of my mouth. At one way I'm gonna say, don't make people feel like they're different. Um, but then I'm gonna say, don't say I don't see color. All right, Nathan, man, take it easy, buddy. Stay safe, bro. Um, God bless. But like, I hate when people say I don't see color. It's like that's baloney. Like if you don't see color, it's because you're blind. and you're deaf because you hear color and you see color. There's some people like me. If you heard my voice, you hear me talking with my idiosyncrasies. You can tell. Oh no, he black. You can tell. But when I'm at work, I can code switch. But I ain't at work right now, so I'm not code switching. But if somebody like if my boss was to call me, y'all would hear me put on my government voice. I remember being a kid and my mother would get on the phone. Core memory unlocked. My mother would get on the phone and like call somebody at her government job. And I'd be like, who is that lady talking? Who are you? This lady. Who is this lady? Um, that's crazy. But you're creeping me out right now.
Oh, I bet I am.
You are creeping me out.
Uh-huh.
You are creepy. Like all I saw was your silhouette. I was like, oh, that's creepy. All right, Chad. I gotta go. I've been summoned. Oh man, this was fun. I got to do it again. Um, I probably ain't gonna do it again anytime soon. But yeah, autism awareness. April was autism awareness. April was also the month of the military child, or the military family, or something like that. Um, yeah, man. Like military. When y'all see do this, some people don't like it, but I love it. Um, when y'all are in public, send your kid up to a service person and tell your kid to tell him, thank you for your service. That, like, when little kids come up, be like, excuse me, sir, thank you for your service. I'll be like, oh, that feel good, man. I'm telling you, you could be having a bad day. You could be thinking about the shift that you about to go work with. You see that little kid and they be like, thank you for your little service. I mean, thank you for your service. That little comment that seemed like it wasn't a lot, it does go a long way. So, thank people for their service. Um, I know we wasn't really messing with cops like that for a while, but we had this little thing, little community thing for the Easter egg hunt. Um, and they had cops in the community. Now, I noticed there was only POCs there. And so it was a lot different. It wasn't any type of, because some of the other cops be other. Um, they make you feel other, and it'd be kind of tense. But it was all good. We laughing and having a good time, and I thanked them for what they was doing. I thanked them for being in the community, um, and just being with the people. Because it don't always have to be, you know, Black Lives Matter or Blue Lives Matter. But anyway, I'm gonna go ahead and get in the house, man. Y'all take it easy. God bless. Good night.